So this video has been requested in longer form. Since I was unable to use the handle puller to remove this stuck on handle, we are going to grind it off. There's a couple different thoughts that you can use penetrating oil or vinegar or a bunch of different stuff to break this calcium free. I tried pretty much all of them and was unable to. Hence why we resorted to the last result of grinding it off so we could get a little bit better leverage. Of course, our wrench set would not fit inside the wall, so we had to use our oscillating tool to make the hole a little bit bigger and then break it free from inside the wall. After you do it a few times, you get a feel for how much leverage you need to put on there in order to break it free. All this being said, make sure you have the water shut off before this point. Get it completely removed, and this is what the stem looks like. Next, we are going to remove the seat. There are two different sides to this wrench, and you just get a feel for how much tension you've got to put on there before it finally breaks free. Once we get it free, this is what the seat looks like. In a perfect world, we would order a kit like this and then just rebuild the whole thing, but unfortunately we're under a time crunch. So we're going to need to repair and rebuild this as much as possible. Right now we're simply putting a new face on this seat. The biggest thing is we want to make sure we don't have any burrs that will catch on here. Head back inside and be very careful not to cross thread the seat. If you do that, you're going to pretty much have to replace everything inside the wall. You just kind of get a feel of how it goes in straight, and also be mindful not to over torque it. We're going to head back outside and then rebuild the stem. Remove as much of this calcium deposit as possible, and then remove the flat wire. I could not get enough torque on this thing, so I put the stem in the handle, and then that gave me enough leverage in order to break this washer free. Once we got that screw that's holding the washer in, we simply just throw an old washer away and install the new one. If you ever wondered what the washer looks like after being in there for about 10 to 15 years, this is it. We've already got everything pre-bought, and we already know which one it is. This particular one is a 00 flat washer. Simply remove it from the package and reinstall it with the screw. Once again, ensuring that we don't over-tight or under-tighten this screw. Next, we're going to remove this first O-ring, clean up the stem a little bit. Then we'll install our O-ring. First, we're going to put a little bit of this plumbing grease on there to lubricate the washer. This will ensure that it will last longer. Just put a little squirt of grease on our fingers and then make sure we get all sides of the O-ring covered. Next, we're going to install the O-ring on the stem. Just as easy as that. And last but not least, we have the final O-ring. We're going to put a little bit of grease on here to prep the site, and then we are going to once again cover all sides of this next O-ring in grease. Not much to it, pretty much the same as before. We'll get it installed, and then we will reassemble the whole stem. Test it to make sure everything slides together properly. Then we're going to head back inside and reinstall it. During the reinstallation process, it is very important that you do not cross thread this. Screw it in there by hand. Do not use your wrench or your socket in order to put it in there. Then we're going to thread on the escutcheon and put the handle on. For this project, everything we've done to the hot side, we have also done to the cold side already. Put the new handle on. Then we're going to head downstairs and turn our water back on. A lot of times I like to have a second person turn the water on so I can stand upstairs to make sure that we don't have any major leaks. We're going to test it to make sure we don't have any leaks. We do have a small leak on the tub spout, but that'll be for next time. So, done with this and on to the next project.